Hi, my name is Victoria Archuleta, and I'm here to talk about Walt Before Mickey by Timothy S. Suzannin and also by Diane Disney Miller, which is Walt Disney's daughter. Alright, um, I'm also going to be doing this on my phone because my computer is broken and the microphone's not working, so Dill, help me with this. So, number one, who is your book about and why did you choose this book and person? So the reason I chose a book about Walt Disney was because I wanted to base my book about somebody who I looked up to or who I saw every single day. And I am totally in love with Disney movies, so I thought I'd do it on Walt Disney himself. So that's pretty cool. Um, that's basically the real reason I chose it, was because Walt is one of the most iconic people right now. So, what have you learned about the person that impressed or disappointed you? In particular, what is their leadership style? How did they lead? In what sorts of settings or contexts did or has the person exercise leadership? So, when I started the book, I started thinking that Walt Disney wasn't too great of a leader because this book does year by year um, a biography of him. They go from 1919 to 1920 to 1921 to 1922. So I was seeing all of his fails in the beginning, where he would go and he would work somewhere and then get fired 3 weeks later. And then he'd get hired again and then get fired 2 weeks later. And it would just kept going to where Disney was failing. And I was thinking to myself, maybe he's not that great of a leader. Maybe he just got lucky once. But if you actually read the book, you tend to notice more that even though he worked at places for a short amount of time, he actually gained a lot of drawing experiences and a lot of very good friends that help him out in the end. As far as leadership, once you get to the end of the book, you really see how, as a leader, he becomes from somebody who started off just as doing little sketches of cartoons in a newspaper to making movies. He steps up from someone low to running his own business and his own name. And it takes him a long time, a long time for that to happen. Which is really cool because, I mean, he started when he was 18. Like, I'm 21 and still working in school. Well, at 26 is when he started, actually, everything started falling in place for him. Um, what sort of factors shape the person's career and exercise of leadership? For example, how has his childhood and education influenced their leadership? Now, like I said, it started when he was 18, and the only thing that they give you is that he did quit high school to help his father on his farm. And then, as soon as he started helping his father on the farm, World War I happened, and he was too young to draft in the army. So he went out to France to be an ambulance driver. And then after that happened, he came back, and that's when he started all of his drawings and going into advertisement. Um, the thing that I saw that helped him become a leader was all of his losses. He kept failing and failing and failing, but he still didn't give up. And he kept pushing on and he kept finding all the little jobs he can get just so he can go by and be an advertisement drawer or artist or just something in there. And then he ended up learning a lot of cool tricks and he also created a lot of new techniques. If he would have stayed at any of the first advertising jobs he was in, he wouldn't have come up with Mickey Mouse or The Lion King or any of the Disney princesses or even Frozen. He would have ended up with Oswald the Rabbit. And I will show you who Oswald the Rabbit is in a little bit. But because of copyrights, Oswald the Rabbit ended up belonging to somebody else. And Walt Disney ended up leaving the franchise because of the disrespect he felt towards it and ended up creating Mickey Mouse, which is really cool. So we finally got Mickey Mouse at the end of the book. You find that out, and it's like the coolest thing. Number 4. What specifically did you learn about the leadership, and how does that influence the way you now consider your work or professional situation, actual or hoped for? After reading Walt Before Mickey, I learned that leadership is all about heart work. And by that, I mean you put your heart into something that you're passionate about, and you will come out in the end as a billionaire. And by the time you get to it and all the hard work, all your dreams will come true. In a quote unquote from a site for the book, it says, during the 10-year period from 1919 to 1928, Walt learned that dreams don't come true without a lot of failure. You'll come to understand why he included "A dream is a wish your heart makes" in Cinderella. It's because he felt that was his own life. And that is one of the major reasons that I now think he is a leader. Because if it wasn't for all of the failing and all of the no's and getting fired, he wouldn't have ended up with Mickey Mouse. He would have ended up with someone a little funny looking. And just real quick, so you have a little view, this is what Oswald the rabbit looks like. Yeah, like Mickey Mouse, but like a bunny. So that was my book, Walt Before Mickey.